here, okay? Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Shri Radhe Jaya Nrisimhadev Jaya Nrisimhadev Jaya Nrisimhadev Jaya Prahlada Maharaj Jai Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva, Jai Panchatattva. Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada. Gora Premanande Hari 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 Vo. Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajacacharya Ashtottara Shata Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajacacharya Ashtottara Shata Srimad Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaja Prabhupada Ki Jai. Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Шат Госвами Ки Джай, Прем се Кахо Шри Кришна Чайтанья Прабху Нитянанда Шри Адвайта Гададхара, Шивасади Гора Бхакта Вринда Ки Джай, Шри Шри Рада Кришна Гопа Гопинат Шьяма Кунда Рада Кунда Гири Говардан Ки Джай, Ямуна Майя Ки Джай, Ганга Деви Ки Джай, Шри Джаганат Пури Dham Ки Джай, Шри Mayapur Vrindavan Davadip Kam Ки Джай, Шри Vrindavan Ки Джай. Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai, Vrinda Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Hari Nama Sankirtana Yagya Ki Jai. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Shishi Guru and Gauranga Jai, Shishi Guru Gauranga Jai, Shishi Guru. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, the third canto, and the chapter which is the glories of devotional service. So first of all, we will go through word-by-word translation just to help us to sing afterwards the whole verse. Bhaktyā, by devotional service. Pumān, a person. Jāta-virāga, having developed distaste. Aindriyād, for sense gratification. Dṛṣṭa, seen in this world. śrutāt, heard in the next world. Mat-racana, my activities of creation and so on. Anucintayā, by constantly thinking about. Cittasya, of the mind. Yattaḥ, engaged. Grahaṇe, in the control. Yoga-yuktaḥ, situated in devotional service. Yatiṣyate, will endeavor. Ṛjubhiḥ, easy. Yoga-mārgaiḥ, by the process of mystic power. So here we have yoga-mārga, the path of yoga, or the process of mystic power. Here in Sanskrit we have yoga-yukto, one who is situated in devotional service, yoga-yukto. And this person is definitely anucintayā, constantly thinking about. He's constantly thinking about anucintayā. In his mind, always engaged, cittasya, yattaḥ. And he's thinking about mat-racana or Krishna-racana, activities of creation and so on by Krishna. And all those activities are heard, śrutāt or seen, dṛṣṭa. Okay, even if we are talking about yoga-mārga here and yoga-yukto, nothing is possible without bhakti. So that's why the first word is bhaktyā. By devotional service, everything is possible, and even yogi who is going through yoga-mārga, any yogi going through any yoga-mārga, he can achieve his desired results only if his yoga path is mixed with bhakti, if he has kind of devotional mood in his yoga practice. That is our verse for today, but before we go through the verse, let me mention something about the Sanskrit, because something very interesting happened yesterday in Srimad Bhagavatam. Now we came up to that culmination of the chapter. The chapter is named The Glory of Devotional Service. And yesterday something has changed in Sanskrit, and we have to notice that. For example, let me give you an example from Bhagavad Gita. We know Bhagavad Gita very well. And you remember the Bhagavad Gita, usually we know it's in anushtup meter. Everyone is familiar with Sanskrit chandas, so anushtup meter, poetic meter. And it's quite simple one. Dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yuyutsavaha mamakah pandavaschaiva kimakurvata sanjaya. So it's very stable meter, I would say. But as soon as Arjuna faces some difficulties, he's in distress, or he's amazed, the Sanskrit meter changes and it becomes trishtup. Let me give you an example. Karpanya dosho pahata svabhava prichhami tvam dharma samuda chetaha yachreyasyan nishtam bruhitan me shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. So it's kind of change of rasa is going on in Bhagavad Gita. And when Arjuna was so amazed by Krishna's universal form, again the same thing happened. The change of Sanskrit meter, the change of rasa. It was amazement, adbhuta rasa. And again it was trishtup. The same logic is here in Srimad Bhagavatam. In Indian poetics, meter is not just a technical thing. People really do feel that meter affects the mood of a poem. So here we have Indravamsha or Jagati group of Sanskrit chandas. And these meters are usually felt to be broader, heavier, and more suitable for serious, descriptive, dignified expression. So we should be careful here. We should not think that Indravamsha is tied to only one rasa, but it is better to understand it as carrying a steady, serious, somewhat expanded tone, and that Sanskrit meter Indravamsha, it works especially well when something important is being described, when instruction is being given, or when there is a formal praise of the Lord. So this is what is going on now in Srimad Bhagavatam. So when we hear a verse in this meter, Indravamsha, we can simply feel that it carries a grave, broad, weighty movement, a movement that fits when some great truth is being spoken, and when deep instruction is being given, or when the Lord's glory is being praised. So this is Indravamsha meter. And we know this meter from before. Right in the beginning of the first canto, in the 5th chapter, when Narada Muni instructs Vyasadeva, this is the same meter, Indravamsha meter. It's all about, you remember those verses. Nayad vachas chitra padam harer yashoy jagat pavitram jagriniti karhichit. And then Tadvag Visarga, Janataga Viplavo, all those nice verses. It's the same meter. So it is said there in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, using that Indravamsha meter, glorifying the Lord, glorifying Krishna Katha, glorifying devotional service. And it is said that beautiful language has no real value if it doesn't not glorify the Lord. So this is the mood of our verse today, yesterday, today, and tomorrow, glorifying the Lord. Something very important is going on. And so what is the verse today? Just try to hear its gravity and its beauty at the same time. Bhaktyā pumān jāta-virāga aindriyād dṛṣṭa-śrutān mad-racanānucintayā cittasya yatta-grahaṇe yoga-yukto yatiṣyate ṛjubhir yoga-mārgaiḥ. Can you feel? Something special is going on here, yeah? So let's try to repeat after me. Bhaktyā pumān jāta-virāga aindriyād Bhaktyā pumān jāta-virāga aindriyād dṛṣṭa-śrutān mad-racanānucintayā dṛṣṭa-śrutān mad-racanānucintayā cittasya jāta-grahaṇe yoga-yukto cittasya jāta-grahaṇe yoga-yukto yatiṣyate ṛjubhir yoga-mārgaiḥ yatiṣyate ṛjubhir yoga-mārgaiḥ Bhaktyā pumān jāta-virāga aindriyāt dṛṣṭa-śrutān mad-racanānucintayā cittasya jāta-grahaṇe yoga-yukto yatiṣyate ṛjubhir yoga-mārgaiḥ. Vaishnavas? Bhaktyā pumān jāta-virāga aindriyād dṛṣṭa-śrutān mad-racanānucintayā. Cittasya yata grahaṇe yoga-yukto. Yatiṣyate ṛjubhir yoga-mārgaiḥ. Bhaktyā pumān jāta-virāga aindriyād. dṛṣṭa-śrutān mad-racanānucintayā. cittasya yatto grahaṇe yoga-yukto. yatiṣyate ṛjubhir yoga-mārgaiḥ. Vaishnavis. Bhaktyā pumān jāta-virāga aindriyād. dṛṣṭa-śrutān mad-racanānucintayā. cittasya yata grahaṇe yoga-yukto. yatiṣyate ṛjubhir yoga-mārgaiḥ. Okay, let's go to translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shall we close the windows? Oh, it's okay for you? It's okay for me, but who knows? Thank you. Thus, consciously engaged in devotional service, in the association of devotees, a person gains distaste for sense gratification, both on this world and in the next, by constantly thinking about the activities of the Lord. This process of Krishna consciousness is the easiest process of mystic power. When one is actually situated on that path of devotional service, he is able to control the mind. So please raise your hand if you would like to control your mind. Haribo. So it is said here, it is possible. Now we shall understand how it is possible. This is another thing. And here it is said, thus consciously engaged in devotional service in the association of devotees. So very important thing, let's go phrase by phrase, repeat after me. Thus consciously engaged in devotional service in the association of devotees, a person gains distaste for sense gratification, both in this world and in the next, by constantly thinking about the activities of the Lord. This process of Krishna consciousness is the easiest process of mystic power. And when one is actually situated on the path of devotional service, he is able to control the mind. So when one is actually situated on the path of devotional service, he is able to control the mind. Now we are going to go through the purport. And this is kind of an unusual purport, I would say, because here Srila Prabhupada repeats again and again, the same point in the same words. And he's repeating the same words again and again. So let's hear carefully what is repeated here. And by the end of the purport, when I will finish the purport, I will ask you, so what is that point is repeated again and again by Srila Prabhupada? Okay? let's hear from Srila Prabhupada. So and you try to understand what is that point repeated again and again. Okay, so Srila Prabhupada says, in all scriptures, people are encouraged to act in a pious way so that they can enjoy sense gratification, not only in this life, but also in the next. For example, one is promised promotion to the heavenly kingdom of higher planets by pious, fruitive activities. But a devotee in the association of devotees prefers to contemplate the activities of the Lord, how He has created this universe, how He is maintaining it, how the creation dissolves, and how in the spiritual kingdom the Lord's pastimes are going on. There are full literatures describing these activities of the Lord, especially Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Samhita, and Srimad Bhagavatam. The sincere devotee who associates with devotees gets the opportunity to hear and contemplate this subject of the pastimes of the Lord. And the result is that he feels distaste for so-called happiness in this or that world, in heaven or on other planets. The devotees are simply interested in being transferred to the personal association of the Lord. They have no more attraction for temporary so-called happiness. That is the position of one who is yoga-yukto, one who is fixed in mystic power, is not disturbed by the allurement of this world or that world. Allurement means temptation. He is interested in the matters of spiritual understanding, of the spiritual situation. This sublime situation is very easily attained by the easiest process, bhakti yoga. Ṛjubhir yoga-mārgaiḥ. A very suitable word used here is ṛjubhiḥ, or very easy. There are different processes of yoga-mārgaiḥ, attaining yoga perfection, but this process, devotional service to the Lord, is the easiest. Not only is it the easiest process, but the result is sublime. Everyone should therefore try to take this process of Krishna consciousness and reach the highest perfection of life, the end of the purport. So, could you please tell us what is it here repeated again and again? There are several points, so don't worry. So what are the points here repeated again and again by Srila Prabhupada? Yes, louder. Association of devotees, association of devotees, association of devotees is so important. And actually, there is a trick here, we would say. It is said in Sanskrit, bhaktyā, so by devotional service, by bhakti something can be achieved. But Srila Prabhupada translates by devotional service in the association of devotees. This is a trick here, and we can say, no, Srila Prabhupada, how can you translate by, this way? It's only bhakti there, bhaktyā, by devotional service. There is no association of devotees here. But it's all false arguments, because in the previous verse it was prasangam, and sat prasangam. Sadhu sangha is very important, and by associating with devotees something can happen in our life. Okay, so this is a very nice point repeated by Srila Prabhupada again and again, and we will come back to that point, I hope, if we will have enough time, because there is only 10 minutes left to question and answers. Only 10 minutes. So any other repeated point here? Louder, please, yes. Easy process. Srila Prabhupada, come on, are you joking? What do you mean, easy process? Raise your hand if you feel that bhakti yoga is just easy process. Do we have such kind of people here? Probably not at all. So what does it mean, easy process? So let's talk about it a little bit. Okay, so Mother Devahuti says, I am very sick of the disturbances caused by my material senses. For because of this sense disturbance, my Lord, I have fallen into the depths of ignorance. Now be pleased, my Lord, be pleased, my Lord, to dispel my great delusion. Due to my feeling of false ego, I have been engaged by your Maya and have identified myself with the body and consequent bodily relations. So Mother Devahuti is in distress here. He is sick of the disturbances caused by her material senses, and we are the same, I would say. So Srila Prabhupada and Kapila Muni gives here nice solution for all the problems. Bhaktyā, bhakti in association with devotees. And Srila Prabhupada says, very easy process, very easy. So let's talk about it. Srila Prabhupada always said how simple and easy Krishna consciousness is. He would say that in Krishna consciousness there are really no problems, at his words. Because everything is solved by surrender to Krishna. And he taught that a person in Krishna consciousness has no goal in life except to satisfy Krishna. And he said that one should think Krishna has given me this service to do. In this way, one naturally thinks of Krishna. And if someone follows Bhakti Yoga strictly, he is not touched by Maya. And if one surrenders to Krishna, one can easily overcome all problems. And he showed this not only in his lectures, but in his own life. Let me remind you, dear devotees, this part of Srimad Bhagavatam was printed around 1974-75. And Srila Prabhupada was lecturing on this, the same chapter we are discussing now, the same verse. He was discussing it in 1974, November, December, and January in Bombay. And it was a great time where Srila Prabhupada had so many problems going on. Because it was problems with Juhu temple construction, Mayapur project, Vrindavan temple building up, all the same time. And Srila Prabhupada says, no problems at all, easiest process. So at the very same time he was speaking like that, he was going through a very hard struggle in Bombay. You see, when Srila Prabhupada says, it's easiest process, Bhakti Yoga, we can understand it slightly different, not like Srila Prabhupada meant to say. So we understand it like, well, easy process, nothing to worry about, nothing to do, nothing to taking care of, it will going on itself, easy. So that's how we accept Srila Prabhupada's words about easiest process. Now let's go to Srila Prabhupada's time and his life and just discover what does that mean, easiest process. So okay, so Bombay and struggles in Bombay for the Juhu land and temple. So there was Mrs. N and her lawyers who kept fighting ISKCON in court. So there was delays, legal problems, uncertainty, and Prabhupada couldn't begin building because he had no guarantee he would get any permissions to build one. So still he kept traveling, preaching, continuing his service, and life in ISKCON Bombay was peaceful. Devotees remember, it was peaceful life. And we will see how it was peaceful now. Just wait a minute how it was peaceful. But devotees could feel its peaceful life in Bombay. Moreover, Srila Prabhupada, you remember how he said that Bombay is my office and Vrindavan is my home and Mayapur is my place of worship. But also about Bombay, Srila Prabhupada said paradise, just paradise, paradise. And devotees could feel so peaceful life in Bombay. But progress was blocked and no one knew how it would end. No one knew. So, and one day, the attack came. They were attacking the temple. So what happened? A demolition team arrived on the Juh property to tear down the temple. Can you imagine? Demolition team to tear down the temple. The workers came with blowtorches, with sledgehammers, and they started smashing, literally smashing the roof and cutting the steel supports. And devotees, so no problem, yeah? Easy process, no problem. So devotees tried to stop them. They really tried. But the police came and dragged the devotees away. Literally, even by their hair, even matages, they just dragged devotees away. And the deity room was in danger. It was a terrible scene. And Prabhupada was not even in Bombay at that moment, and he was in Calcutta. But when the devotees reached him by phone, he immediately told them what to do. So finally, there was the whole campaign, Save the Temple in Bombay. And newspapers were printed with the photo of demolished temple, and devotees were searching for support from life members, and some of the life members were so helpful. The plan of Mrs. N failed. They thought there were only some foreigners, young foreigners, but soon they were facing many respected people of Bombay. They all came up to save the temple. And then Prabhupada said that the demolition had made ISKCON's position stronger. So what kind of lesson we can take out of this example? Well, all the problems which we face, sometimes it's really hard. Sometimes it's hard to face even a little problem. What to say about big problem? Have you ever dealt with demolishing the temples? I don't think so, but that was Srila Prabhupada's time, and that was Srila Prabhupada's disciples had to face those problems. But it made them stronger. So this is the point. We shall not be afraid of the problems. They will make us stronger. We are very weak now because we are spoiled children. We used to the comfort, we used to the relaxed way of living, but those problems, if we want to become stronger, we have to take the responsibility of our services. We have to face the problem, and that's how we will become stronger. There are so many nice pastimes were going on there, in Bombay. And for example, when it was going on, all this story about Juhu Hare Krishna land, at one point devotees built up the wall around the Juhu land just to protect that land. And that was a really nice wall, nice boundary around. And then neighbors of the Juhu land temple, they started to say, oh, okay, now you have a prison inside. And when Srila Prabhupada heard about that, he thought for a moment, and then he said, no, not like that. The prison is outside, and inside is freedom. So many nice stories about Bombay temple, but we don't have enough time. We are going to finish soon because there might be some questions and maybe some answers from senior devotees here. Srila Prabhupada, his mood, devotees remember, was very peaceful one. When he was visiting Bombay, he was preaching on the roof of his apartment in very calm, peaceful atmosphere. He was talking on Bhagavad Gita, he was preaching on Srimad Bhagavatam, verse by verse, as if no disturbances, no problem, easy process. And then, Srila Prabhupada said, okay, maybe there were some problems, but that was Srila Prabhupada's instructions. Build something, even if it is only one brick. Build something, even if it's only one brick. And in our life, we can take this lesson from Srila Prabhupada. Okay, maybe I cannot do some big service now. Maybe I'm old. I'm 54 years old now, and I know what I'm talking about. What to say about more senior devotees. So, but this is instruction for me. Do something, even if it is only one brick. Build something in your Krishna consciousness, in your devotional service. Do something, some simple thing. And what does that mean? Easiest process. Srila Prabhupada explained. In which sense it's easiest process? You can do a very little service. Srila Prabhupada mentioned, just come here and ring the bell. Is it difficult? What is the difficulty? Just come here and ring the bell. That's it. Just come here and do a little service. Just hear a little bit Srimad Bhagavatam Katha. Just try to see Krishna behind each and behind everything in this material universe, just to try to see Krishna. Very easy process. But there is a secret behind. It might be very hard process even to come and to ring the bell. If there is a secret ingredient, how this process can become really easy and tasteful and pleasing and nectarian, how this process can become easy process. The secret ingredient. And the secret ingredient is, okay, you can come and ring the bell, but please do it in association with devotees. You can just come and do your little service, but please do your little service in association with devotees. That's how the process will become easy process, in association with devotees. But for that, we have to love devotees. We have to appreciate devotees. We have to carry that love inside our heart. And if it will happen with us, if we will carry all devotees around in our heart, then the process of bhakti yoga will become really easy process. So coming back to Srila Prabhupada, let me say the last point here. Let's just summarize. So Srila Prabhupada was always saying about how easy Krishna consciousness is, how in bhakti there are no real problems, how everything becomes solved by surrender to Krishna. And he was saying this while living in the middle of an intense battle, legal struggle, demolition, opposition, delays, uncertainty, pressure from every side. So this is a very nice example for us. Even if there will be a pressure from each and every side, for example, even for such a insignificant devotee as me, I have that pressure because of the old age, health, traveling, intense preaching, teaching. So many problems come up, but that is Srila Prabhupada's teaching. He was also translating, publishing Srimad Bhagavatam during the same period of struggle. He was preaching, traveling, guiding disciples, fighting for Krishna's temple. Yet he stayed fixed, peaceful, practical, and full of faith. For him, no problems did not mean that difficulties did not appear. Difficulties will be there. It means that Krishna was in control. That Srila Prabhupada's no problems means Krishna is in control. Krishna is arranging everything. And the devotee must continue serving. That's it. That's how Srila Prabhupada lived. And that's why his words had such a power. And maybe he was such a strong personality, not because he's Vaikuntha man. He came here down from Vaikuntha. But maybe it happened, and Srila Prabhupada actually was talking about it. Maybe he was that strong. And maybe Krishna consciousness for him was very easy and peaceful process because he was always in association with devotees. You remember how he said that he is always in the presence of his Guru Maharaja. You remember how he said that? He is always in the presence of his Guru Maharaj. And his Guru Maharaj left this world like many years back. Still, Srila Prabhupada was always in the presence of his Guru Maharaj, always in the association of devotees. And you remember that story from London temple when Srila Prabhupada was preaching and he looked at the corner and he said, oh, Narada Muni is here. So Srila Prabhupada was always in the presence of, in association with devotees, always. But he loved and served devotees around. And all devotees, senior devotees, younger devotees, they all were kept deeply inside Srila Prabhupada's heart. That is a really nice example for us, how Krishna consciousness may become very easy process. If we keep all devotees inside our heart, we are doing our service in the association with devotees, following Srila Prabhupada's example. No problems, easiest process. Hare Krishna. So we have like few minutes for questions or words of wisdom. How my Guru Maharaj says, words of wisdom. Any words of wisdom, questions, comments? Yes. This is a mic right there.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for this wonderful class. Just I have an inquiry. During 1974-75, along with Prabhupada, that pastimes in Juhu, were you present there? You explained this incident so elaborately.
Yes, I know it from Srila Prabhupada's disciples. Yeah, so they're so kind, so compassionate. Srila Prabhupada's disciples share with us all the details of many pastimes of Srila Prabhupada. So we are very fortunate. It looks like we know Srila Prabhupada in person just because Srila Prabhupada's disciples are sharing with us. So they become our association. And in association with them, we can continue our devotional service, and it becomes very easy. When I complain to Srila Prabhupada's disciples, oh, it's so difficult, it's not possible, they always have some words of support, and they know how to support us. And they give their association to us, so we would carry our devotional service. At the same time, as my Guru Maharaj says, this is our part of responsibility here. We also have to be a good association for other devotees and non-devotees. So we have to be in association with devotees, and we have to be a good association for others. This is our part of responsibility. Thank you so much, dear devotees. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.